I think it's pretty obvious why I'm making this video. Not because... It's because of how I am feeling about Overwatch right now. Let me just adjust this real quick. Sorry about that. I feel like Overwatch is going down a bad route. And to be honest, I am not keen on how it's going. In my opinion, I feel like Overwatch has gone down the drain of terrible ideas and terrible balancing in general. When I say terrible balancing, oops, that's not it. I mean how awful the balancing has been in general. In terms of everything during for the core gameplay or the core game modes and PvP, the perk system, and just how we are getting these perk changes instead of actual balances. And in my opinion, I feel like the devs focusing on perks is not a good idea. And people are going to agree with me on this because it's one of the worst ways to balance a game. That is not how you balance a hero shooter. The way you balance a hero shooter is that you balance it by focusing on the kit first. Then mid-season, you can focus on perk changes. Don't focus on perk changes and then do... Okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if I'm being a bit annoying. But don't focus on perk changes. If you focus on perk changes, then that is not good. Because then we're going to have to wait for another balance patch to happen anytime soon. There were some good ones in here. Like, for example, this one. This one was really needed because Rampant Charge, which was the minor perk, which reduces all your cooldowns by 6 when you use Rampage, was a good idea. I really don't think buffing characters like Malga or Hazard, even though I like Hazard's like this lifesteal perk, don't buff it, please. If you buff this, then you are making a very dangerous mistake. And then there comes Rein. Reinhardt has been undoubtedly the worst tank ever. And no, before anyone clears out and says like, "Oh, but the pros played him in pro play," doesn't matter because Reinhardt is to this day the worst character. It doesn't matter if pros play him. It doesn't matter if like the top number one tank plays him. He is still a terrible character. And like, let's look at like some of these other ones, like buffing characters that do not deserve buffs, like Cass, Freya, Mei, and then nerfing Reaper for some reason, moving nerfing his movement speed and then turning it into a perk. I mean, this perk is actually pretty good. But the problem with Reaper is that it wasn't his ability in Wraith form. That is what made Reaper actually good. But nerfing the movement speed and just adding like a band-aid to it, like this is like an entire band-aid on the wound on his legs. And it's just like, why are we focusing on... Also, this is now a problem. I mean, this has been a... The 50% was not a problem at all. Like, it never was. Nerfing this, or nerfing this and just giving him a new minor perk, which in my opinion is good, but it's just not needed. You could have just, like, not given him this perk. Ravenous Wraith was pretty good and everything, but the main reason why Reaper is so good is because of how he is a good against tanks and how he's a good against meta tanks like Wrecking Ball, Winston, Hazard, and so on. With that being said, I think the biggest problem with Reaper is the lifesteal being very consistent. I don't think the lifesteal was necessarily bad per se because Reaper is a DPS character and he needs the lifesteals to survive. So yeah, but no, biggest problem with Reaper is that he just does a touch of damage. Tracer's recall perk, I understand why they had to change it, but it was still not needed. I understand. And they're just doing some random buffs to Widow and not giving any details, which is one of the biggest other problems with this with the developers. They are not giving us reasons on why these perks or why these characters kits or perks are getting buffed and everything like that. Like Secret Mind, damage increase from 25 to 50. Like why is that getting buffed? I need to know a reason. And like some of these were fine. Like Alari's was fine because this perk was pretty bad. Buffing Juno's ultimate cost, like sure, whatever. And then doing this because sure. And then buffing Lifeweaver again because Lifeweaver is still a consistently terrible character. And it's every time they buff Lifeweaver, it shows that the devs are so out of touch with the Overwatch community in general because they're too focused on Reddit. And that's one of the biggest problems with that. If you are keeping focus on Reddit, that's not how you balance your game. That's why you need to focus on what characters are good and what characters are suck. And you have to make those characters that suck good. Don't make the meta characters more buff. Like I think, and then nerfing Wu Yang, I think this was a big mistake. Like, yeah, the 225, like he had a lot of survivability and everything, but overall, man, I think it just sucks that the devs rather choose and like the buffing the nerfing the explosion damage and buffing the impact damage was kind of interesting. But the problem is that it's not just the balance as well. It's how they're handling heroes. Like, for example, this Freya and Sojo have been meta for quite a bit now. Cass has been consistently the strongest DPS there are. Characters like Tracer and Genji, Reaper, Pharah, who else? Sim. Like, it's the fact that like, these characters have been consistently good. And that's good for some extent. But the problem is that there's not enough nerf to these characters. They did nerf Sojo. I did know that. But that's still not enough. If you want to nerf the main reason why a character's strong, do it. Stop listening to people who are in lower ranks. I know you're trying to appeal to a more casual fan base, but the competitive players have been playing these characters since Season 1 of Overwatch 2. And characters like Kiriko, Juno, Mercy, Lifeweaver, and Lucio to some extent, but Lucio has been very healthy. The problem is, though, is they keep on nerfing supports at the wrong direction. Has Kiriko has been consistently meta, and I think Kiri needs to be shot in the feet. Not because she's good, it's because she is one of the most annoying DPS to play against. Even if you do have, and going against a good Kiri will always break you because of how awful she is to play against. And it's her perks as well that suck. She gets a swift step for every 3 seconds. Why? Protection Suzu grants allies 100% increased cooldown recovery and 30% increased movement speed for 2 seconds. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? And, like, that's one of the biggest problems with it. Characters like Ramatra, Orisa, Malga, and the fact that Orisa has a minor perk that just removes all the no movement speed reduction and no heat generation is miserable. This should not exist because the biggest problem with the perks is that they aren't perks anymore. They're just big buffs. Like, think of like team ups from Marvel Rivals where they buff the anchor character. But instead of like nerfing what makes these characters good, they are just instead not touching it, which sucks because now you have to literally which sucks because now you literally have to deal with it on a daily basis. I think another big problem is how they're buffing the wrong perks. Like they buffed Reinhardt's perk barrier recharge to 200 per second, which is still not a good change. This is like one of the worst perks ever. Like Ryan's perks before weren't bad. Sure, they were underutilized. Sure, they weren't underpowered. They were underpowered in some extent, but at least they had use. This don't use ever because there is no reason to actually ever use a shield slam because Ryan players have figured out that if you hold left click and right click, you can see from behind you. And that's one of the biggest reasons why Ryan players love this because it helps see your back line, see if anyone's in trouble, and everything. It just kind of annoying. And then we got Crusader's Fire, which in my opinion is just it's okay. I don't know if I'm making my point yet. But the biggest problem is how they, and another problem I have been seeing is the skin problem, and people have been complaining about it a lot. Yep, I know. And you want to know something? It's been a consistent cycle, and I think everyone, even Kiriko players, are tired of it. Not Bab just got his first legendary this season. I think it's season 19, if I'm correct about that. He just got his first legendary this season. And that shows, like, how these devs are pushing these skins towards Kiriko, Juno. Like, Juno has 137 and has more than most characters that don't have, she has almost has more than Symmetra, and she has almost more than Wrecking Ball. She almost has ranking more than Wrecking Ball, more than Malga, and that's the worst part. She has more than Malga. She has more as Ramatra. She has more than Queen. Like, why are we focusing? Like, I get it, money, it generates money, but can we stop, please? Because I don't think I've heard a single person, and that's the worst part, nobody complains about these characters because they have the personality of a dump truck. They have annoying garbage personalities that people apparently like because they have cute, simple designs that can make any skin for it. I'm probably going to get shot for it, but I don't care. I think the devs are pushing it too far, and that's one of the main reasons why I haven't been playing Overwatch as much. I've been is because the devs don't care what's meta. They don't care about what's meta. They care about skins, care about new seasons, and no matter what about the new seasons, they are going to suck because the devs aren't balancing properly. And I know I'm not a dev myself. I know that. But the devs do not care what's meta. They only care when people play their game. Duh, that's obvious. But I'm saying, I don't think it's healthy to just focus on what is bad. They are focusing on, I understand, and they're trying their best. I understand that. I don't hate them. I just want them to do better because the balance patches after season 18 and season 19, at the start of season 18 mid-season, season 19 mid-season, have been all garbage. And I wish I can actually go back to mid-season, but I can't because I just can't. I honestly, because I don't know how far this actually goes. Anyways, I've been playing this game less because I just don't find it fun. and it's not a good game. And playing this game casually is miserable as shit. It's like I'm not even trying. It's like I'm not even playing a game I like anymore. Literally. I'm playing just death Overwatch, deathmatch Overwatch. 5v5, in my opinion, is not fun. I don't hate 5v5. It's just not fun for me, and I prefer 6v6 because 6v6 just works better for this game. Like 6v6 is what Overwatch should have stayed as. I don't understand the 5v5 at all. I guess queue times, but at the same time, I will rather have long queue times than ever go to 5v5. I find that it should have stayed as open queue or roll queue in some extent, but 6v6 is just garbage. No, 5v5 is just garbage. I don't find it fun. 6v6 is fine because, and Marvel Rivals made me realize how good 6v6 is and how it actually makes Overwatch a better game in general. I'm not saying completely remove 5v5 because there's people that actually do prefer 5v5, and I can understand that from a perspective. You can have your own opinion. But in my opinion, I just don't like 5v5 as much because it makes some tanks useless. Reinhardt, and it makes characters like Reinhardt, Zarya, and Diva just very like not worth the format. And also, Zarya is meta, and she didn't get touched this season. Why? Why are we doing this? And then I understand, people say, like, oh, the win rate, the pick rate, she probably has a low win rate. And I'm like, I don't care she has a low win rate. People will say that about Orisa. People will say that about Malga. What is the biggest... And that's the issue. They are too focused on stats. I need characters to be nerfed that are unhealthy for this game. Characters like Malga, Orisa, Hog, Ramatra, because Ramatra has started to become a toxic waste bin to this game. Because ever since the armor bug in season 17, it has been major. He has become a major pain in the ass to fight. I like it when Queen is meta. I like it when Ryan's meta. I like it when Sigma's meta. I like it when Winston's meta. I don't like it when... I do kind of like it when Hazard's meta, because Hazard has a fun playstyle that I just thoroughly enjoy. And then there's some characters in this game that haven't been chosen that deserve to be stronger. Like Alari. I think Brig should be stronger as well. Zen. Characters like Junkrat, who's been consistently a terrible character. Sombra, it hasn't been touched in quite a while, and that's the problem with this. They aren't changing enough characters. They're choosing characters that people complain about on Reddit and try to make it known to their desires, when at the same time they are not focused on what makes this game fun. They're just focusing on dog shit balancing. And plus, I need perks to actually mean something now. In season 15, with like the new perk, with like the old perks actually meant something. It added something new to the kit and everything like that. But now these aren't like helping perks. They are just big buff perks. Like Sojo has the most broken perks in this game. Like, the most broken perks in this game. Freya has the most broken perks in this game. And it's just so annoying. Pharah has broken perks and everything like that. Like, we need to focus on main kit first and then perks next. Don't focus on perks next, because if you do that, we will have to wait for another patch to happen. I'm sorry for rambling so much, but this literally killed all my motivation to play this game, because balancing in this game hasn't been good for quite a bit now. Characters like Moira deserve to have some recognition at least. Like, some of her perks, like this one right here. Like this one right here, coalescence can be toggled between pure hearing or pure damage within 25% greater effect. That's good, because that's what coalescence is needed for. Like Ultron's ultimate from our rivals, where you either choose to heal or you choose to do damage. I think I've said my stuff, but I'm just gonna say real quick, I want these devs to do better. They're not terrible. It's just I need these devs to do better. If they don't do better and they don't focus on what makes Overwatch, what makes balancing, like, and I get it, you can't make a hero shooter like balanced. You can't do that. You can't do it to fighting games either. But the biggest problem with this is that they're not taking feedback lightly, and they're not taking it into account. There are still bugs in this game that they have not touched on, which sucks, because like Ryan's Shatter Perk's not working on movement characters who use movement abilities. Tracer's Recall, when you use her flashback perk, it works with recall as well, which is stupid. It really shouldn't be like that. Like, there are so many bugs in this game, dude. It just, why? Why are we not fixing these bugs? Like, at all. It's just annoying. If we are going to be focusing on what to make if we want Overwatch to be a better game, then make it a better game. Don't just push that aside, because every time I hear let's make a great game, I just think they're just trying to make people happy. But they're not, because they keep doing the wrong things. I understand from a perspective on why they keep getting Juno and Kiriko skins, but BAP needs skins, Bastion needs skins, Junkrat needs skins. Well, he's getting a mythic mid-season, so yeah. But yeah, like, can we just focus on balance first, perks last, and like try to readjust these perks, or like try to readjust where they should be. Like Arista's perks, this should be a major perk. This should be a minor perk. Well, actually, the more I think about it, that just then you would have both, actually. I don't know, but it's just so annoying, man. Like, why are we doing this, man? If I want these devs to do better. I'm not saying they're garbage. I just want these devs to do better. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.